Welcome guys on E11 Forex Trading. My name is Elijah. You are welcome on this wonderful channel where we share our thought process on different Forex pairs that we'll be taking a look at also this week. So we'll be taking a look at, first today we'll be taking a look at DEX, DXY, and then we'll take a look at GBPUSD, Gbpjpy, Euro USD. If we still have time, we'll take a look at also probably Euro AUD and Euro NZD. So awesome guys, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Let's get into it guys. Awesome guys. So we'll be taking a look at DXY. We'll be starting from a hard time frame, from a monthly time frame. So let's take a look at DXY from a monthly time frame, just to take a look at probably directions that we'll be looking at. Let's clear this out. Let's clear some of these things out. So yes guys, as you can see that DXY for previous months, DXY has been pushing to the downside, you know, below this trend line there. So DXY has been pushing to the downside below this trend line. So at the moment DXY is just trading within this area. So DXY at the moment probably is still, you know, at a very, you know, sensitive area, where now around this area there may be some, you know, few consolidation around this area before now DXY begin to go to the, you know, probably maybe for a long term. So but at the moment that DXY, we anticipate that DXY can come to this level and test this area here and test this region around 88.717 or 88.200 areas. So around this region here, we anticipate that DXY might come and test this area, you know. But on the contrary, on the other side, that if DXY doesn't come here, DXY probably might break, you know, and move to the upside. So let's take a look at a Fib, as we can take a look at a Fibonacci there. So if you can take a look at the Fib right there, so DXY has tapped the negative 27 area. So anticipate that probably DXY might push, you know, a little bit to the upside, but it may revisit and test this area, the 38.2 area. We anticipate, which lines perfectly with this, you know, with our support there. So this 38.2 lines perfectly with our support. We anticipate that, you know, DXY might come and test this area, you know, in some months to come, or 2 months or 3 months, we do not know. But we anticipate that DXY, if it doesn't push up, we anticipate that DXY might come and test this area at 38.2. so if now our candle, this monthly candle, closes probably like this around this area, we still have 2 weeks and some days. So we anticipate that DXY might come to this 38.2. So let's take a look at weekly time frame. On weekly time frame, you know, things are a little bit interesting also. So DXY on a weekly time frame here. So let's also clear this out. Let's first clear this out. Let's clear our Fib out. So we go to our weekly time frame there. So as we go to our weekly time frame, on a weekly time frame, as I said, things are looking quite, you know, a little bit interesting there. So we are seeing something forming there, something like a continuation pattern, which might be forming to the downside. So there might be a continuation pattern which shows that, you know, there is still a chance that DXY might push to the downside. So if DXY break this area, you know, around this area there, we anticipate that DXY might push, you know, to the downside. So we anticipate that around this area, we anticipate that DXY might push probably, you know, so if it might push, you know, forming some lower highs, lower lows, and continue to the downside to our 38.2 area there. So if on the other hand DXY breaks above this area, we anticipate that DXY probably will be pushing like that, you know, and test this area, come back before probably, you know, a continuation, you know, to the upside. But at the moment DXY is still trading below this trend line, so we still anticipate that DXY may be pushing a little bit further to the downside, you know, on the monthly, on a weekly time frame. So let's take a look at the daily time frame. So let's clear some of those things out. Let's clear some of those things out there. some of these things out. Let's clear this thing out here. So on the daily time frame, things also still look interesting. On the daily time frame, probably the coming day, a day candle might break to the downside, or it might fill this week. What we anticipate is that price might come a little bit. If it doesn't break to the upside, fill that week there, then break, test this area, come and retest there, and then just like that, pushing to the downside, forming something like a head there. There might be a head and a shoulder there, and another shoulder which might form around this area. Take into consideration from a weekly time frame, we have this continuation pattern to the downside. So things might play out like this, but we do not dictate what price does. So that's our thought process, on what we are anticipating that things might be happening at this area. So let's take a look at a 4-hour time frame. As we take a look at a 4-hour time frame, things a little bit messy there. So we around this area, price is still trading above this trend line. So anticipate that price might play around this area before break to the downside. So we anticipate that probably around this area, as we said on a daily time frame, we anticipate that around this area price might come, retest or revisit there, and then things look interesting and break to the downside as we anticipated on monthly, weekly, on a daily. Or if it doesn't go like that, price may break straight away and then shoot to the downside. Or on the contrary, we said that if price break above this trend line, price will be pushing to the upside. So that's our thought process on DXY. So let's take a look at Gbpusd. So our thought process on DXY might be going to the downside. So things also are looking interesting on the on Gbpusd. So if DXY will be weak, so which means our Gbpusd will be pushing to the upside. So our first our first target on the monthly time frame is around this region here at 1.40580. So that's where we'll be having some reaction. That's where is our target on a monthly time frame. Then our second target, it will be at 1.43550 area. So that is our second target on that area. But there will be reactions which may take place around 1.40550 and also 1.43550 areas. So these are areas where now probably around this area, and that's where we expected a drop there, but probably around this area at 1.450 we may see something price dropping to come and test this area. We may see price to come and revisit this area. This was strong resistance for some time, so we anticipate that price may come and revisit this area. You see, we anticipate that price may revisit this area before probably maybe a push to the upside, or if it breaks below, then price will be continuing to the downside. So that's what we're anticipating on a monthly time frame on Gbpusd. Let's take a look at weekly time frame. So the weekly time frame, as you can see, that there's a strong bullish candle which indicate price will be pushing to the upside. Is unless then this coming week this was a fake breakout. If not price this week close below, then we'll be now expecting that price probably may trade to this area. This is our second thought process, but our first thought process is that price will be pushing to the upside. So that's our second process on Gbpusd, taking into consideration that DXY will be moving to the downside. So this Gbpusd, we anticipate that it will be pushing to the upside, reaching those target first at 1.40550. Then the second target, as it keeps moving, there will be reactions around this area. So that's what we are anticipating the price will do on a weekly time frame on Gbpusd. Let's take a look at daily time frame. So on a daily time frame, that's what we are anticipating. So let's clear this out around this region here. So on a daily time frame, as you can see, that this is bullish candle there, indicating that there's pressure to the upside. So anticipate that the next candle probably, if it may keep pushing to the upside, things may still keep pushing to the upside on the next daily candle, unless the candle that will close, it might, you know, engulf everything there. Then this will be our second thought process, that, you know, GBPUSD will go there. But as we said, our first thought process is GBPUSD to continue going to the upside. So that's our thought process on GBPUSD on the daily time frame. On the 4-hour time frame, as you can take a look at on 4-hour time frame, this was a strong bullish move there, you know, to the upside. So we anticipate that probably around this area, you know, GBPUSD may be playing around this area and then push to the upside. So if it then come revisit this area, it may revisit there and then move back, pushing to the upside. So that's our thought process. GBPUSD, it will be pushing to the upside. It's still so strongly bullish. So, you know, even on a 4-hour time frame. So let's take a look at Gbpjpy. So we take a look at Gbpjpy. Gbpjpy also is so strongly bullish. Let's take a look at from a monthly time frame. As we said around this area, that if Gbpjpy break this level, Gbpjpy will be revisiting this trend line there for a third touch around this area. So we anticipate that Gbpjpy will continue being bullish, come and retest this area before a drop to the downside. So Gbpjpy from a monthly time frame, it is strongly bullish. It is strongly pushing to the upside. So this coming month, we anticipate that Gbpjpy will be pushing to the upside for a third touch, you know, around this area. So we're anticipating a third touch probably around this area or anywhere around this region there. So we anticipate a third touch. So Gbpjpy is strongly bullish to the upside on the monthly time frame. We are taking a look at the weekly time frame. As you can see, this weekly bullish candle there, indicating that there's still strong pressure to the upside. So we are reaching this area here, which was our target. You know, as we explained while we're in this area, we said that our target is around this area at 145.764. so if we clear this area, we're going to 148.087. so that's our target. And then we get some reaction. We'll get reaction here. There will be, you know, there will be some reaction around this area. If this clear go there, we expect some reaction, a strong pullback before we move to the upside. So Gbpjpy may go to this region, then drop, then we continue to our monthly target to them. So as we take a look at on the daily time frame, so as if you take a look at on the daily time frame here, everything, you know, on a daily time frame, it is still on this uptrend, you know, forming some higher highs, higher lows. It form high, low, high, low, high, low. So, you know, Gbpjpy, it is pushing to the upside. We may have a reaction around this area on a daily. We may have probably or a strong push, break that level, or a reaction, then continue going to the upside. We may have a reaction there, probably, you know, a reaction. But as long as Gbpjpy trade above this trend line, Gbpjpy is still strongly bullish to the upside. On a 4-hour time frame, Gbpjpy is trading within this region here. So there's, you know, a structure which is broken around this area. So there's this structure which is broken there. So Gbpjpy might come, test there, and then push to the upside. So the second structure, which now, if that structure, you know, which now Gbpjpy might come and revisit, it is this structure here. So Gbpjpy, if it, you know, if it doesn't break this structure, then Gbpjpy will push to the upside. But if it breaks this structure, it will come and test there and then push strongly to the upside. So that's our thought process. Gbpjpy is still to the upside. So awesome, guys. So let's take a look at Euro USD. So we take a look at Euro USD from a monthly time frame. So from a monthly time frame, everything is still bullish on the Euro USD. Is still bullish. It is still around this area, consolidating there. taking a look at DXY, we anticipated that DXY might also come and revisit this area. So we anticipate that Euro also might come revisit those area before a strong break going to the downside. Okay, so we anticipate that Euro USD, as it's still trading above this trend line, we anticipate that Euro USD also might come revisit these levels there at 1.25143. You know, the first level which now Euro USD it might also revisit is this areas here, probably, you know, around this area. So there's also this area here which we need to look at. There's also this area which now GPUSD might also have to pass through before reaching to that 1.25143 area. So as it's trading above the trend line, let's take a look at the weekly time frame. We said around this region that GPUSD it will drop, and it dropped. We expected a reversal. We expected GPUSD to come and test. Then we thought that GPUSD will continue going to the downside, forming head and shoulder, but it got pushed back above the trend line, so it is still pushing to the upside before that measure break to the downside. So let's take a look at a daily time frame on Euro USD. So on a Euro USD, we may see something like this on a daily time frame. Euro USD might come test this area, then, you know, forming higher highs and lows until this area is there. So on a daily time frame, Euro USD may come test this region before a strong bullish move going to the upside. So on a 4-hour time frame, still the same. We anticipate that it might come test this area before that strong push, or it may push going straight, you know, to the upside. So that was our thought process on Euro USD. So yes, that's our thought process on Euro USD. So awesome, guys. Those are our thought process on DXY, also on Gbpusd, also on those other pairs that we have been taking a look at. So this is a wonderful thing, guys. So this is our thought process on this pairs till we meet again on our next analysis. Awesome, guys. Till we meet that on our next analysis. Awesome, guys.